This is a new method that the White House is going with. Let's see what happened.
U.S. is now demanding that Iran make a public statement declaring the Strait of Hormuz is open and that ships crossing will no longer be attacked. This follows American airstrikes this week.
Well, she didn't say the complete thing. So she's saying so the complete version is that you say that it's open to us, but you're telling everybody else, including your own media, that it's closed. So you need to tell everybody else that it's open, not just us, publicly. Also, they actually made another demand. Because they also told President Trump that the people who attacked the ships, the three ships, that was the wrong thing to do, and we're sorry. We're very sorry. We should not, like, they should not have done that. Okay, so they're also saying that, okay, come and say it. Come and say that that was a mistake. Come and apologize publicly. Don't apologize privately. Apologize publicly. So that's the addition. But
Can I
hold on.
ask you something about this? Because I remember a public apology that got shot down on Twitter. There was like long ago, there was a Twitter beef where one of them apologized and someone else said, "Shut up." Do you remember that? I don't know if it was Ghalibaf
Yeah,
or it was
Pezeshkian.
Pezeshkian.
It was Pezeshkian. It was Pezeshkian. He wasn't apologizing to the Americans. You're right. He was apologizing to the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. And then they came and shut him up. So imagine there was no tolerance for even apologizing to Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. Imagine it's really hard to believe that the Islamic Republic is going to come and apologize to the United States. That would be very. And you sent me this, by the way. Look at this. So one of the conditions U.S. demands on Strait of Hormuz publicly acknowledge the strategic waterway is open, commit to stopping. So that this one you highlighted because this is what you were asking for. But they also asking for an apology. They're also asking for an apology, saying that we made a mistake. We shouldn't have attacked these ships because you know what they're saying, Monkey? They're saying Ghalibaf, the people that are negotiating with President Trump, they're saying that that's not what we wanted to do. These are some rogue elements that did this, and it wasn't us. So some people are saying they're lying. They're in on it. They're all doing the same thing. They're pretending that they don't have control over it. Some people are saying like, no, they probably don't have control over them. But the point is that President Trump is like, I don't care. If you can't control them, come and publicly call them out and say that was wrong. Okay, which if that is it's a big if. We're getting iffy here, Monkey. We're getting iffy here, right? If President Trump manages to get Ghalibaf and others to come out and say, we're sorry, America, we shouldn't have done that. We're sorry. If President Trump gets to do that, the division within the Islamic Republic will escalate to new heights because that would be more humiliating than all the corn that they have received. Well, they were supposed to receive for the blood of the supreme leader. It would be way more humiliating than that. I think if they push, because President Trump has only gave them, I think, 48 hours to do this, or else there will be consequences. If Ghalibaf does get scared and they give into it, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna make Pezeshkian do the apology for them, not Ghalibaf.
Interesting. Yes, I want the public an apology and the targeting data. Who did this? Where are they? Let's find
Yes,
out where they are.
but here's the thing. I think we should, Monkey, can you use your connections to tell the White House that an apology from Pezeshkian means nothing? He's a scapegoat. They will throw him under the bus to save the rest of the Islamic Republic. What
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
should,
tell them. I'm gonna use my
yes,
connection. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So hey, do what he said. This is my connection. You guys are watching here. You guys heard it here. So this is my connection. Guys, do what Armin says. This is my connection.
So yeah, we want Ghalibaf to come and apologize, not Pezeshkian. Pezeshkian is just a sacrificial lamb. We want Ghalibaf to come and say sorry that we shouldn't have attacked the ships. Okay? Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. Guys, like this. See, we have top tier analysis here for you guys in a way that you see nowhere else. How many things have you heard Monkey, Ali, and I say to you that eventually happened. How many times has this happened? Does that not deserve at least a subscribe and a like? We like this. No one else is doing this. We have deep understanding of what's going on. Anyways, let's watch this again.
U.S. is now demanding that Iran make a public statement declaring the Strait of Hormuz is open and that ships crossing will no longer be attacked. This follows American airstrikes this week. Our senior correspondent, Mike Tobin, is in Tel Aviv tonight. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Aisha. In fact, U.S. officials are giving Iran a Saturday deadline to publicly renounce the attacks in the Strait of Hormuz as the U.S. ramps up efforts to pressure Iran back to the bargaining table. The U.S. hit roughly 170 targets in Iran this week, including rail bridges the U.S. says were used to transport weapons. As U.S. strikes finished, another round at
Oh, by the way, this bridge was basically showing to the Islamic Republic, this bridge that they hit, the United States is showing the Islamic Republic that we're not just going to be active in the south, we could be active in the north as well. And Monkey, you're angry again. Stop being angry. And also so, change the shortcut to that. And not only that, this bridge was the way for the Islamic Republic to use land routes to go around, the US blockades and the sanctions and stuff. A small portion of it, but that's what they did. So this is significant. This bridge was significant, a significant hit.
I thought it would be an airstrike, like a land strike on that. You would need an inordinate amount of preparation. An airstrike seems to be the only way to do it. That's a lot of concrete and rebar and solid construction to have the weight of rail cars, transport rail cars going through this. You have to do airstrikes for something like this, and hitting them in the logistics is the way to do it.
weapons. As U.S. strikes finished, another round attacked southern Iran. The source of that attack remains a mystery. The U.S. says American forces didn't do it. One Iranian lawmaker pointed suspicion at the United Arab Emirates. It happened after Iran once again fired missiles at its neighbors.
I think the Gulf states have been launching counterstrikes. They're
Persian Gulf states.
doing it a little under the radar. I mean that literally and figuratively, but they have responded, and it's not something that they want to draw attention to.
On Friday, Qatari negotiators supported by the U.S. arrived in Iran with the goal of de-escalation and a return to talks. President Trump posted that Iran requested more talks, but the United States has stated to them in no uncertain terms that the ceasefire is over.
That's not what he said. You go roll back a little bit. That's not what he said. Like they misquoted. He didn't say Iran. He said Islamic Republic.
Republic. Good catch. Good catch, Monkey. Yes. Yeah. See, even when President Trump is being careful, the media still, unfortunately, we need to normalize that. Good catch, Monkey. Good catch.
Like they should this is Fox. They should be a little more responsible.
Yeah, exactly. This is Fox. Guys, I see a super chat. We're going to respond to it soon. Thank you for the super chat.
That the ceasefire is over.
I suspect the Qataris are trying to create a temporary ceasefire, but the chance of a long-term change in this regime seems like a zero probability event to me.
As the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Organization labels the threat for crossing the Strait of Hormuz severe, U.S. Navy Forces Central Command sent a message that the only route the U.S. can protect is the southern route, the one designated by Oman. Iran wants ships to travel its route, the northern one. The 3 tankers Iran attacked this week traveled the Omani route.
We don't want Iran to successfully exercise that control. It's a high risk for those ships. You never know when Iran's going to take one out.
Another example of pressuring Iran, the U.S. State Department announced sanctions against 3 currency exchange houses they say gave Iran access to foreign money. Also, an Iranian living in Dubai with a real estate network the U.S. says he held on behalf of the regime. Aisha?
Mike Tobin live for us in Tel Aviv. Mike, thank you very much.
Monkey, I think all of this, to me, it needs a reminder that I think that this is going to go for a while. And these tensions will de-escalate, but they will not stop. And even if they de-escalate, they will keep, escalating again at some point. we're going to be here up and down for as long as it takes for the Islamic Republic to fall. Hold on, let me finish this. I don't think that. I think the MOU was just show. I don't think it was ever serious. I don't think it did anything other than try to buy time for both sides. Both sides needed time, but at the end of the day, there's no way the Islamic Republic would be willingly give up its last deterrence capabilities, and the United States is not going to be willing to just allow the Islamic Republic to control the Strait of Hormuz. The Islamic Republic is not going to be willing to just give up the Strait of Hormuz, and the United States is not going to give up the Strait of Hormuz either. The Islamic Republic is not going to give up its enriched uranium, and the United States is not going to allow them to have it. The Islamic Republic is not going to stop supporting its proxy groups, and Israel is not going to let them to continue. So to me, this just means that the escalations will continue, de-escalation and escalations will continue indefinitely until the Islamic Republic is over. That's my take on what's going to happen. What do you think?
I think the last part of that broadcast was just the announcement of further escalation. They're talking about clearinghouses of the money. That's economic fury in play. Like that last segment, that last thing that they said is we're going against these exchange houses, and we're going against these real estate places. That's further escalation. That's clamping down with economic fury.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.